Hello, everyone, and welcome to this April 2026 reading, where we go through the month of April and see what will be happening for you. What are the energies surrounding the month? What do you need to know? So, I have 4 piles for you to choose from here today, or rather, crystals. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Just take a moment here, get quiet, take a few deep breaths, and then choose whichever crystal is calling out to you the most. You may resonate with multiple different crystals, in which case there are multiple different messages for you in those piles. I'm going to give you a moment here to do that now. All right, if you need more time, feel free to pause the video. If not, let's get into the readings. Hello, if you chose pile 1, then this reading is for you. Let's go ahead and see what's in store for you for the month of April 2026. Up here, we have the general overall theme of your month. So we have the 10 of Swords upright, and then deep knowing upright as well. And then here we just have the 5 of Wands, 7 of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. All right, pile 1, what I'm seeing for you this month is some sort of clarity with the Ace of Swords on a situation that has been sort of plaguing you. With the 5 of Wands, I feel like it's been taking up a lot of your energy, a lot of your time, and that you've been quite uncertain about where to go with it, what to do. This could be with another person, this could be at your workplace. Maybe there's so many different ideas or opinions going around and people are fighting for them, and you're not sure, which one to take in, which one to give more weight to. And I feel like any sort of chaotic situation that's been on your mind and draining your time and your energy and your attention is going to be coming to a close this month with the 10 of Swords as the general theme of your month. If that's how you've been feeling, then this pile is definitely for you, especially with the 7 of Cups coming out as well, which can also be a card of not being able to make a decision. And being uncertain when it comes to whether the decision that you're making is the right one. So I feel like you've been kind of delaying some sort of decision on this situation because you're uncertain of whether it's the right or wrong one. So it's going to be important this month to really get quiet and listen to your intuition, because I feel like you've been kind of disconnected from it, maybe, or it's gone quiet, sort of. So I feel like this month there's going to be some sort of clarity here on the situation with the Ace of Swords. This Ace of Swords is a really good sign, basically, because what I'm seeing here is like, out of all these clouds, right? All these cups are hidden in these clouds. You're not exactly sure what's inside of them, whether it's good or bad. And then out of these clouds comes the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is all about clarity, truth, honesty. So I feel like there's going to be there's going to be a lot of clarity that comes onto this situation. But I feel like it's important, in order for that to happen, for you to sort of get quiet with the deep knowing coming out, right? Deep knowing, this card is all about intuition, connecting with our intuition. And in that sense, I feel like out of that connection, out of this chaos, is going to come clarity for sure this month, especially with the 10 of Swords as well, because the 10 of Swords is all about completion. So especially if the situation has been really painful. I feel like you're going to be gaining some of your power back within if you felt like you've been kind of in the midst of this chaos. I feel like you're going to be taking a step back, um, taking a step back out of the situation, taking yourself away from this situation is really going to help you find this clarity this month. So yeah, so I feel like for you, it's almost like this situation is going to be the main point of your month. And you may not like hearing that if this has been the main point of your month of previous months, but for sure, this is the month that's it's going to kind of be closing out here with the 10. But let's get some more cards. Let's get some more cards here on your situation. We have opportunities. Unfurl like a fern, even without warm sunlight. And so for some of you, this might be even not being able to make a decision on a sort of where you want to go. Like for instance, say you just graduated from something and you're not sure what you want to do for your career in the future, or maybe you're stuck between multiple different job offerings. Anything like that, anything where you've been uncertain, any area of your life where you've been uncertain, where there's been a lot of sort of chaotic energy, fogginess, this is going to really clear up this month. Especially if you take the time to really allow yourself to sit and think and organize your thoughts, organize everything. So, whether you want to make a spreadsheet, write down a list, something like that is actually going to really help you. Any way to organize your thoughts is going to really help you. So let's get more. So you could definitely may have a lot of opportunities coming up, a lot of choices on some sort of path in your life. Reconnect. Secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods. And I feel like this is definitely reconnecting with yourself and your intuition, with deep knowing come out as well, because that's where all majority of the clarity is going to come from. It's going to come from yourself mostly. I feel like it's going to be less from outside sources. It may be, but at the end of the day, your decision is going to come from you and not from anybody else making that decision for you. So definitely a month of decision making, a month of reconnecting with your intuition. Birds may be significant this month as well as since birds kind of, because they fly in the sky, they have like a higher perspective on a lot of things. They're able to see the bigger picture, or at least like that's what they represent, right? So I feel like you're going to be able to see the bigger picture on some situation in your life this month. It may come up this month. It may be something that's been plaguing you for a while now. Either way, you're going to be able to gain an upper hand because you're going to be able to see the situation from a different perspective, a different light. So let's see. So it's very important that you trust your intuition this month, right? Trust yourself. Trust yourself that you know what's best for you and what you want. So let's get another message. I what your month of April is going to look like. Let's see. All things work. So we have chakra balance, equilibrium. All things work best in conjunction with all things. Yeah. Definitely. This is looking like a lot like the Seven of Cups, where you're really going to be balancing some sort of situation here. If you like to know, like to take a look at these crystals, maybe you'd like to work with some of them to help you during this month. Yeah, definitely some sort of organization here. You may be cutting out a lot of unnecessary things in your life this April, but that's just to allow you to have a clearer head. Because you can almost see this sword is like cutting through the fog that the Seven of Cups is. Maybe you have like a lot of competing ideas on a certain project or a certain thing, and so this month you're really going to be settling on just that one idea. Let's get another moon card for you here, especially with, oh yeah, especially with the full moon in Libra coming up. This equilibrium is interesting because Libra is all about, you know, balance and harmony. So I feel like you're really going to be finding balance this month. Make sure to give each option equal weight as well. So we have here, don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. And that reminds me of this five of wands as well. And that's where the higher perspective is definitely going to be coming into play. On the bottom of the deck, we have a personal issue reaches a resolution for sure. There's something that's going to be coming to a close this month that's been kind of like eating at you, weighing on you. But it is important that you take the higher route, right? You don't get caught up in all of it, and you're able to be an observer in that sense with deep knowing coming out. I don't know why I'm getting the sense like for some of you this may have to do with like maybe you have some high up position at work, and so you have a lot of people working under you with like you're some sort of leader somewhere where you're in the lead in life. You're a leader. It could be in your family, at work, at school, wherever, some community, wherever, somewhere where you're a leader. There's been a bit of like arguments and chaos and disputes going on in that sense. And so at the end of the day, it's your job to sort of make some sort of decision or organize or get people organized, delegate, things like that. And so in that area, there's definitely going to be some sort of, you're finally going to be able to make a decision on this and get closure on this situation. Let's get an animal card for you. This could also be sort of like if you like to get your messages from the universe, your personal messages and synchronicities through animals and nature. This could also indicate how the universe will be speaking to you this month. And we already have birds. I feel like birds especially are going to be very significant for you this month, but it could be lions as well or some sort of Leo. Maybe there's somebody else. I know this card says don't let pride get in your way, and for sure, I feel like if you're in some sort of leadership position, you definitely kind of have to have your pride take a back step and do what's best for everybody. And I feel like that's kind of why you've been halting on this decision, because you want to make sure that it's the right decision for everybody, and everybody's going to be able to benefit. And you know, sort of like I feel like you're like the mediator of some sort of situation, but it's been a lot of pressure on you. There's been a lot of people, you know, in your ear trying to get your attention and tell you their side of the story. And so it's almost like you're not sure who's right and who's not. And so you're definitely going to be able to get clarity on this situation this month for sure. And if you're somebody that likes to, I'm getting the message, if you're somebody that likes to hike, you know, in nature and stuff, I think you're going to get some of your deepest insights in a high place. Like if you like to hike, like if you're hiking on a mountain or something like that, or maybe if you're in the city going to a rooftop or some sort of place that's high up in the air where you can see very far. It's definitely, I feel like, where you're going to find a lot of important insights into this, into how best. Look, we just had lion peek out too, so yeah. Let's see. What animal has a message for you for this April 2026? Starfish. Interesting. Be careful not to put too much be careful not to put too much weight. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking. Be careful not to put too much weight on what other people think of you when it comes to what your decision is, right? So don't make a decision purely based on making another person happy or a group of people happy, right? Make a decision that you're not going to regret and that and really stay true to your beliefs, your morals, and your values for sure. Because that's when the best outcome is going to happen. Don't make a decision purely on what other people want or what they tell you. That's why it's really important this month for you to use your intuition, because you're going to be able to tell when someone's being genuine and when someone's not, when someone's being shallow. You're going to be able to tell. I'm getting the message you're going to be able to tell the liars and the thieves from the genuine people. So your perception, so you're going to be able to read people really easily, and I feel like you're going to be able to read their energy really easily, specifically because they're going to tell you truth. They're going to tell you things that you want to hear. They're going to tell you things that they're going to make something look like a lot better than it is, and you're going to be able to tell who's doing that and versus the people that are actually being honest this month. So yeah, your intuition is definitely going to be on point this month, and that's why it's important for you to sort of get into a place of silence so that you can, I feel like you're going to be really rewinding all these conversations in your head, all these things that these people are saying, to determine who is really being truthful and authentic and who is, lying. Let's get another card here for you. So yeah, I feel like there's definitely going to be a big, the situation is going to be a big point this month. But I feel like this is like the last month it's really going to be this at its peak, at its climax, because it's definitely going to be ending here. So we have Mars, motion, yeah. Definitely some sort of authority leader here. Yeah, so definitely some sort of action is going to be taken on this thing. So there's going to be some sort of dispute or argument or something that happens this month, or it's already happened and you're kind of dealing with the aftermath, but it is going to come to an end this month as well. But I will say this, with the Ten of Swords, it's not going to be all, it's going to come to an end, but I don't think it's not going to come without bloodshed, right? Metaphorically. Some people are going to get hurt, especially with Mars coming out, and the Ten of Swords. That's going to be unavoidable. I'd also say this card is another message of you kind of taking the lead in either the situation or just in your life, and taking action, because I feel like this is the month that if there's something that you've been kind of pushing away or procrastinating making some sort of decision, taking some sort of action on, this is the month that you're gonna kind of be pushed to take action. But don't just take any action, right? Make sure you're taking strategic action here. But yeah, you're definitely gonna be asked to stand your ground somewhere with Mars, to fight for something that you want. But in order to fight for something that you want, you need to know what you want. You need to be clear on what you want. And so that's where this Ace of Swords is coming from. You're really going to be asked this month to be clear in what you want and fight for it, but don't get into other people's games. Don't let them rile you up with the full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. Let's get another card for you. This is absolutely my favorite deck that I have, my favorite oracle deck that I have. So let's see. What do you need to know for the month of April 2026? We have two things. We have trust your path. If you knew what you would be supported, what would you do? Yeah, I feel like there's some decision that you want to make, but you're kind of afraid of what people are going to think, or what people or some people in your life are telling you to go in one direction, but you kind of are like, no, I want to do this, but you're kind of maybe you're kind of scared to, I don't want to say scared, but you're hesitant to let them know, perhaps because, you know, you're really close with them. Maybe they're your family, they're your partner. So it's important that you really stand firm with your decisions. And if you don't trust your decisions, if you're not confident in your decisions, other people aren't going to be confident either, right? So it's important that you really get clear on what you want. So we have trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? And Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Yeah, definitely some sort of journey and these opportunities. I feel like there's some sort of opportunity or opportunities coming in your life, but so it's important that you focus on what you want. And yeah, it's okay to take other people's opinions. Sometimes other people have a lot of wisdom, a lot of guidance that you can follow, but at the end of the day, your life is your own. And so it's important that you trust your path yourself, where you're being led, and especially your feelings, right? Your intuition, because that's never going to let you down. Your intuition is never going to let you down. But yeah, definitely some sort of action being taken this month on, I feel like, a certain area that you've been neglecting because you don't want to make a decision, some sort of area that you've kind of been trying not to look at. I feel like trying not to look at, definitely some sort of action happening there, and you're going to be kind of called to make a decision. And there's a lot of signs and guidance around you on where to go, what to do. So it's important. That's why deep knowing comes out, right? As well as the Ten of Swords. These are both cards. Like the Ten of Swords, I really see as like it's like after a battle, right? So it's very silent and it's very quiet, and that's why it's important for you to get quiet this month so you can see where you're being called to journey to, because there's definitely some sort of new journey that wants to come in, but because there's so many other things that you're paying attention to or trying to focus on, it's kind of been blocked. But I feel like this month you're really going to get clear on that. So yeah, there's definitely some sort of path or journey that you're being called to take, but I feel like either you're uncertain because there's so many other opportunities, you're not sure if this is the right one, or there's other people telling you in your ear saying, you know, don't do this. It's not it's not feasible, things like that. So I think it's really important this month. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Because I feel like right now you're not able to see sort of the end result of some choice, some decision that you're going to be needed to make. And so it's important that you trust your path and take one step at a time. But let's go ahead and get you some songs here. Okay, we have Hold Me Now by Caskets. And then Neon Rainbow, Ramses B and Yvette, I think. So you can take a listen to these songs, see what lyrics stand out to you. Specifically with Neon Rainbow, reminds me of like in the song, one of the lyrics is like follow, I think it's like follow the neon rainbow or something. So definitely another message of following some path that maybe is kind of unconventional. But yes, pile one, that is all I'm seeing for your April 2026 prediction messages. Thank you for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. Hello, pile two, and welcome to your reading for what will be happening for you and anything you need to know for April 2026. Let's go ahead and take a look at your overall theme of the month, which we have the Three of Pentacles and No Place Like Home in reverse. First thing I'm getting is you could be doing some home renovations here. Maybe, what's the term? Home improvements, home renovations, anything like that that may be a focal point for your month, as well as just collaboration. You might, I'm getting some sort of maintenance on your home that's gonna kind of interrupt you. I feel like it's gonna be kind of an annoyance or inconvenience with no place like home coming out in reverse. Maybe you may even need to stay in a hotel for a while, things like that. Now, only take that if if it resonates. But yeah, I feel like there's gonna be some sort of disruption in your home that's gonna bring strangers there. Maybe to help fix it, or maybe someone you know, some sort of family member or friend is gonna need a place to stay. So I feel like there's gonna be some sort of disruption in your home. It's not necessarily gonna be something huge that's like gonna bug you or something that's gonna annoy you. I just feel like there's gonna be some sort of change in your home this month. Maybe that's already happened. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your physical home. It could be your body, which is the home of your soul, right? So some sort of change there that you're going to need to get outside opinions on. Anything like that is what I'm getting first right off the bat. It could be that you're leaving home to go live somewhere else with like roommates, so you're going to have to learn how to get along with them as well. And another message I'm getting, especially if you are moving somewhere, if you're branching out from your home, maybe you're moving or you're leaving some sort of place that's comfortable. I feel like at first it's definitely going to take some getting used to. You know, you're going to meet new people, new challenges, but I also meet new things, right? So definitely a month of the unfamiliar, of not feeling comfortable, and I feel like that's because you're moving toward you're initiating something new. So I feel like there is going to be a bit of discomfort this month. But that's only because you're being introduced to something unfamiliar, or you're seeking out something unfamiliar. So maybe you're moving to a new city, new neighborhood, new job, new workplace, new school, something like that. Something new that's going to be a bit unfamiliar, and because of that, it's going to cause discomfort. You're going to have to learn a lot of things, a lot of new things, how to be. This could even be like with your body. Maybe you're starting out a new workout routine, or some sort of new skincare routine that you're unfamiliar with, something like that. Definitely some sort of shakeup in your routine, but I feel like it's a you're doing it, you're the one seeking it out, right? It's not happening to you. For most of you guys, you guys are the ones seeking it out. So I feel like your month is definitely going to be colored exactly by that new thing that you're seeking out, this thing that's going to be kind of uncomfortable, but that's only because it's unfamiliar. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of your cards. Okay, we have the 8 of Swords, King of Pentacles, and Temperance. Interesting. So yeah, okay. Another message I'm getting is that if anywhere that you're feeling sort of restricted or trapped, if that is that could be your physical home, your work clip or your workplace, your body, whatever it is, I'm getting the message that you're moving away from something that restricted you, that made you uncomfortable this month. And while the place you're moving towards is also going to be uncomfortable, because it's going to be new and unfamiliar, it's definitely going to turn out way better than where you were. So anywhere that you feel trapped, it's time to make a change this month. What I'm noticing is the water in this 8 of Swords. You see how it's kind of scattered? There's some dry bits, and then there's some water. I feel like this place was once full of water, but it's kind of been drained dry now. This is a place that you've gotten everything you can from, and so now it's kind of restricting you. And I feel like you need to take the steps, which it's not going to be all at once. It's definitely going to be over a prolonged period of time, to free yourself from this situation. And to get to this temperance, where you look how there's lush grass, there's flowers, and there's a whole pool of water. And that's because it's time to move on from this situation this month. And even though where you're going to be going is also unfamiliar, it's definitely going to be better from where you came from. But let's get some more information on this. Caution, tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. Yeah, so definitely take baby steps. If this feels like hard for you to remove yourself from this situation, it could even be, you know, your thoughts, your body, something that's intangible. Though I feel like for the majority of you with these two pentacles cards coming out, it's more so a physical movement. It also is affecting your mental space where you're feeling trapped there as well. But it's good if this is something that really, you know, scares you, makes you uncomfortable. It's definitely important to take baby steps here. We have time that also came out. Embrace in the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. Yes. Not only is this going to take time to feel comfortable again in this new space, but it's also saying that it's time for this to happen. You know, you've spent enough time here and it's time to move on. But it's definitely going to be leaving you feeling a lot more comfortable once you take these steps, these baby steps to leave whatever situation has been restricting you, has you feeling trapped, have you feeling like this place is not your own. Maybe you share space with others and they're kind of getting on your nerves and you want to make the move to leave, but you're also not sure if you can afford it, or living on your own might be scary. It doesn't have to be a house thing. It's just like an example, some sort of situation like that. It could be work, it could be anywhere you're feeling trapped, even if it's in your own mind. Let's get some more cards here. Okay, 2 wanted to come out. We have here solar plexus chakra, butylated quartz, confidence. No one will believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. Be your own cheerleader. And then we have, I think this would be sacral chakra. Yes, carnelian, letting go. Letting go is not giving up. Sometimes it is the first step towards success. Definitely letting go of something. And I feel like it's something that you've worked hard to build, you've worked hard to gain, but now it's kind of leaving you feeling trapped, like you can't leave it because you've worked so hard, kind of like a sunk cost fallacy. And so I feel like this month it's definitely pushing you to let go of this thing and build confidence that if you did this once, you can do it again, right? You can do it again anywhere. So maybe, I don't know why I keep getting home. Maybe it's because this card, but like I'll give an example for like a home. Maybe you've done so many improvements on a home, you've worked on a home, and now you're kind of feeling trapped there. You want to move to a different area, different community, but you're like, oh, I already put so much work into this. How can I leave it? And so that makes you want to hold on to it, even if it's hurting you, even if even if you're not happy there. And so this is kind of a message saying that letting go is definitely you're gonna feel better letting this go. It's gonna be uncomfortable at first. For instance, like I'm getting the situation of, you know, when you were in school. If you're still in school, you would know this, but if when you're in school, any sort like K through 12 or university, anything like that, when a break comes, like winter break or summer break, where you don't have anything to do, it's kind of uncomfortable because you're like, oh, I feel like I need something to do, but then there's nowhere for that energy to go because you don't have anything. And it kind of takes some getting used to. I feel like that's kind of the situation that's going to be happening, were you to move past this situation. But you'll ultimately start feeling comfortable there as well. You'll start adapting. You're very adaptable. Let's get another message here for you, pile 2. So definitely letting something go this month that's been keeping you trapped, but it's also comfortable, right? We want to hold on to the comfortable. So even though it may not necessarily feel good to hold on to this, it's comfortable, and that feels better than venturing towards the unknown, venturing towards something that may be uncomfortable at first. And so it's definitely, you know, if this is something that is scaring, if this is something that, you know, scares you, you don't want to do this, then you can always just take baby steps, take it slow. You don't have to change your life all at once. And I'm getting I'm getting the message that you can like bring some sort of like souvenir or memory with you that will help you remember these times, or keep you comfort in that situation, you know, like a little, like a security blanket almost. Or like you know how like a kid, sometimes kids have like things that they're really attached to, like a blanket or a stuffed animal. Something like that you can bring with you to this unfamiliar place, and that'll help you acclimate as well. So let's get another card here for you on what will be happening for this April 26. We have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. Yeah, so if this is something that sounds like that happened in the past and you're already in this unfamiliar situation, then your hard work is definitely paying off and you're going to be feeling more comfortable here. Look, we have step out of your comfort zone, North Node on the bottom. For sure, definitely a month that you're going to be stepping out of your comfort zone, or if you've already done this, then you're going to be starting to get in the groove this month, and things are going to feel easier in that way. And that's why confidence is going to be important too as well, because you need confidence in order to start something, in order to build something, especially something from scratch that you're unfamiliar with. It could be maybe you're changing majors, maybe you are changing careers, changing jobs, maybe you've just recently changed a job and it's felt like everything has been so new, so unfamiliar. If you feel like you don't know what you're doing, I feel like this month is kind of going to be the month where you get back in, where things start becoming easier, they start becoming more familiar for those of you that have already let go of this thing. And then for those of you that are still in the process of moving on from something or holding on to this is the month where it's time to let go. Let's get another card here for you. Astrological card for the month of April 2026 for my pile twos. Sixth house, sustainability. We have 44. This could definitely also be a person, maybe stepping away from some sort of person that you've been with for a long time. Also, it could also be a routine. So either adding something new to your routine and having to give up something that you've been doing for a long time as well. Definitely some sort of new routine, anything like that with the sixth house coming out. Maybe you recently went to the doctor and they said, you know, you need to start doing this, or recommending certain things that are unfamiliar to you. Something that has been in your life for a very long time is now going to be needed to fall away, and that's because it's hurting you more than helping you now. Or if you've already done this, and this is the month that you're going to be starting, like, any sort of routine or habit you've been trying to build is going to be is going to start transforming into something that's more automatic, something you just do, you don't think about doing it, especially with your hard work is paying off. So anywhere you've been working really hard to anything you've been working really hard to maintain or sustain is definitely going to be paying off here. It's going to be here for the long run, especially with the King of Pentacles. Let's see what animal wants to come through for you this month. Animal wants to come through for you for the month of April 2026. Rabbit. Interesting. I'm also going to keep this fell. It's just rabbit and then unicorn in reverse. Rabbits for me can be a sign of not only like springtime, which is sort of like, you know, like spring cleaning. I'm kind of getting spring cleaning here. So you may be doing a lot of spring cleaning as well in your home. Maybe you want to, maybe it could be also that you want to, reorganize a lot of your home, and there's a lot of things that are there. Like, for instance, say there's some sort of piece of furniture like a couch that you really want. You want a new couch, but you also love your old couch. It's super comfortable, but maybe perhaps it has a lot of like rips in it, a lot of stains because you've had it for so long, but you also don't want to give it up because you don't think you're going to be able to get something better. Um, I feel like whatever in your life feels that way, it's time for something new to come in. It's time for you to let that go. You can do it slowly. It doesn't have to be all at once with both caution and time. But it is, you are being pushed this month to let that go, especially with letting go coming out. And another message that this card have is fear. So yeah, I definitely feel like there's some sort of fear of letting this thing go, or fear of the unknown, fear of being uncomfortable, fear that you're not going to be able to get something as good, which is false because we have Temperance that came out, New Moon in Capricorn, your hard work is paying off. And then we also have the Unicorn. And for the Unicorn to come out in reverse, maybe I feel like there's some sort of, I feel like there's going to be a lot of like coincidences or certain serendipitous moments that are going to occur this month. And your first thought is going to be like, that's fake. There's no way this has happened. You may even be like afraid a bit. And so it's going to take some time for you to get more used to that. Maybe you've just delved into tarot or divination, things like that. And so you're a bit cautious of it. So it's going to take some time to get used to this new world that has opened up for you, or that will be opening up for you this month. Let's get one last card here for you. The month of April 2026. Definitely some sort of change happening this month, whether you are initiating it or it's just happening. It's definitely going to take some getting used to, but you're definitely going to be able to do that. All right. And anywhere you've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of practice, you're going to be seeing the results this month as well, especially if it's like some sort of new routine, anything like that. We have water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. And yeah, it's going to be very important for you to focus on that this month as well. Especially if you're letting go of something, especially if you're leaving something behind, because that's always going to be like a really tough process to go through, even if this thing has been hurting you. Want to slow down as well with Rabbit coming out, water your garden, and caution, time. Give yourself time to rest and nourish yourself this month. And sixth house. Sixth house is also about, like it says, sustainability, right? So kind of you're going to be experiencing something this month that's going to show you how far you've come from a certain situation, and it's going to allow you some time to rest. And as with Temperance as well coming out as well, look, Temperance is definitely a card of standing still to realize how far you've come almost. And with the King of Pentacles too, yes, definitely accomplishing something this month that's gonna have you feeling proud of yourself, have you feeling confident. But I feel like there is some stuff also that needs to be let go of, and that's where water your garden also comes in, where give yourself that time to rest and replenish yourself, especially if you're in a very uncomfortable situation right now, or you were in the past. Yeah, definitely a message to take care of your body this month as well, especially if you've been running rampant on something that you've been trying to get done, or maybe work has been really busy, something in your house is really busy, maybe you've been doing a lot of things for your family. This is definitely a big message to take some time for yourself, maybe in water as well, like baths, anything like that, because it's kind of, especially what I was saying before with the water here being kind of sparse and then being plentiful here, it's almost like your well is running dry. And that's one of the reasons why maybe you've been feeling trapped or uncomfortable, or like you want to get out of a situation, restless. That's why it's important for you to slow down a bit this month, especially with Rabbit coming out as well, because rabbits can be seen as, being super, they're really fast. And so with caution and stuff, it's kind of like taking the time to see how far you've come, to see all the work you've done, and just enjoying that, basking in that. And then we also have the 6th sound, sustainability, right? So pace yourself, pace yourself. If you need to rest this month, rest, because you are going through a very, I feel like, upending time in your life, or just a very busy time in your life. So it's important that you take care of your body, especially if you've been feeling fatigued, if you've been having any sort of health issues, because the 6th house can also talk about like health and how we maintain our body, how we can maintain our health. And so it's important that for you make sure you're getting enough rest, you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough nourishment, nutrients. Definitely a big message here of taking care of yourself this month, because I feel like a lot of stress has been placed on you the past few months, especially if you've been in some sort of uncomfortable new situation. Yeah. Letting go of certain habits as well. You might be forced to. I feel like if this is the case, like definitely take what resonates. Like, for instance, letting go of certain habits, that's something that you already know you've been getting other messages about, right, in your regular life. This is not going to be a new message. This is something that you've already been hearing, and this is just confirmation of that. Lastly, I'm gonna get a song for you guys. I'm somebody that really, I don't know, I really connect with music a lot. So I love just pulling songs and getting messages through the lyrics in that way. So let's see, we have Don't Want It by Lil Nas X with the 9 of Cups. You know, I made these things so long ago, I can't even remember what this is what the lyrics of the song is or what its theme is, but just right off the bat, I feel like with the 9 of Cups on here and then don't want it, it's kind of like rejecting anything that you feel, doesn't nourish you, you feel traps you. Rejecting anything, especially if you've been so busy, so stressful, rejecting anything that doesn't give you peace, essentially. But yeah, definitely look at these lyrics, listen to the song, and pay attention to the lyrics, and anything that stands out to you, anything that you really resonate with, that's your message from this song. But yes, pile 2, that is all I am seeing for you for April 2026. I hope you have a wonderful month and a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you, Spirit, for these messages. And I'll see you in the next one. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your April 2026 prediction reading. Now, before we begin, I do want to say that I'm sort of getting this like pulsing in my chest. I'm getting that some of you maybe have recently gone through something that was a bit heart-wrenching, or that forced you to kind of open up your heart or be vulnerable. You went through something that made you feel really vulnerable recently. Just some messages I'm getting right off the bat before I even look at your tarot cards, because that's what I'm feeling. Let's go ahead and get into your cards. So these 2 cards here are going to let me know the overall theme of your month. So we have the 7 of Wands upright, and then here we go, chop wood as well. And I can't help but notice that we go here from this 42, which can be reduced down to 6, and we go from a 6 to a 7. And this card, chop wood, kind of showed, I feel like this is about preparation, almost like I don't know why I can't say this. Preparation for some sort of battle, almost somewhere where you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. So this April, it's going to be important that you prepare as much as you can for something. You might already know what it is that you're preparing for. And what I mean by preparation is, like, for instance, doing research on a certain topic, or cleaning your house because you're going to be inviting people in. You're going to have some sort of celebration. Maybe you want to prepare for some vacation, some sort of summer trip. So you want to get into a workout routine, something like that. I feel like this month is going to be about preparing. But let's get into your tarot cards to see some at some other messages here. We have Wheel of Fortune, Justice, and the Four of Swords. Interesting. All right, pile 3. The first message I'm getting for you is that this is a month, as I was saying before, of preparation. So this is one of the things that you're being asked to sort of do in this month, and that will be at the forefront of your month, is these sort of like mundane tasks and chores that you've kind of been neglecting or putting to the wayside, maybe to focus on things that you feel like are more important, or big dreams that you have. And so I feel like this is a month of you kind of going back and focusing on these certain, and these are like necessary tasks that need to be done in your regular day-to-day life. And I feel like for you, it may feel a bit overwhelming because I kind of feel like maybe you've been letting them sort of pile up in the background. And so this is a message to take it step by step. You know, you don't have to do them all in one day because that's how you're going to get burnt out. And especially if these things feel like overwhelming to you, it's definitely do it, you know, take it a day at a time. For me personally, how I would handle this situation is 3 things a day. You know, there's three necessary things you have to do a day. If you get those done, you can give yourself a reward, however that would look to you. So I feel like there's definitely you're going to see a lot of progress, because I feel like right now you're feeling kind of stuck. You're not seeing a lot of progress in certain areas of your life. And that's because there's still things that need to be attended to. The sort of tedious tasks that maybe we don't like to do, like, you know, filing, doing our taxes, for instance, or making doctor's appointments, hashing out any legal stuff that we have, especially with justice coming out as well. But yeah, I feel like there needs to be balance here between what you are doing to move forward with certain goals and things and dreams and desires versus the maintenance that you're doing for things that you already have. That's the balance that needs to be sorted out here. I would also say that's what we are gonna soon have a full moon in Libra tomorrow, April 1st. I'm filming this the day before. So April 1st, we're about to have a full moon in Libra. And I feel like that's kind of also that's what the full moon in Libra may be also bringing into your life, is this balance between the mundane and kind of maybe if you're doing a lot of like manifestation rituals, spiritual manifestation rituals, certain spells, things like that, to bring stuff into your life. The reason, if you've been feeling like stuck there, if things haven't been happening, the reason for that is because there is definitely stuff you need that are already in your life that you need to be maintaining, because how are you going to bring new stuff in if you can't even take care of the certain things that you have in your life or that need to get done? So that's definitely a big message there. And I feel like April is kind of going to be a month for you to prepare and plan and organize to get to have a routine that you do in order to maintain those things. So take care of anything you've been neglecting, anything that's been on the back burner for a while that is still on your mind. It's like, you know, I need to do this, I need to do this. But then you can't actually get yourself to do that, either because you find it boring or because you have so many things like that you're not sure where to start. So it's important to get started on that, depending on what works for you. So like I said, for me, it's kind of like writing down everything I need to do that week, and then separating them into days, like, and giving myself 3 things every day that I have to get done, right? And doing it no matter what. There's no argument there. And then the another message I'm getting is some sort of preparation for a a big thing that's going to be happening in your life. For instance, this could be preparing for some sort of court case with justice coming out, some sort of legal battle, and you're going to know what this is. Like, if this is for you, you're going to already know what you're being asked to prepare for, because it's been on your mind, this future event that I feel like you're kind of apprehensive about. And I'll say this, as long as you make sure you are, you know, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, you're doing everything that you need to do. You're filling out the proper paperwork, you're doing the right research. submitting the right forms. I'm getting a lot of like paperwork type stuff here. So if that's the case, just as long as you're doing that, like I feel like it's gonna turn out well for you. You're gonna be able to have a sigh of relief once this month is over, as long as you're paying attention to the details. Pay attention to the details and take things slow. Make sure you, if you're looking over any sort of contracts, anything like that, make sure you are really reading every line, reading the fine print. Reading the fine print is going to be very important this month for you. Getting down to the nitty and gritty details of everything. Breaking things down is also going to be important for you, whether you are preparing for some sort of battle in the future or some sort of event in the future, or some sort of, or if you are going back to all those things that have sort of piled up that you've neglected. Breaking it down into small steps is definitely going to help you out, and it's going to give you that motivation. And this is important because it's important to give the universe time to sort of put things in place for anything you've been trying to manifest lately, or go after that you haven't seen much progress in. You need. I feel like time is very important here, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. There's like a lot of pieces that are being put into place to be able to give you what you want, and to make that easier. Like I said, it's very important that you go back to the basics of what you need to do. So I feel like it may even seem like it's like a boring month this month, just because I feel like there's a lot of boring and tedious tasks that you have to get done that you may not necessarily want to do. And so I feel like it's important that you really reward yourself for getting those things done. Give yourself small rewards for completing certain tasks, completing certain like menial tasks that maybe you don't really like to do, right? Make them a little bit fun. Give yourself something to look forward to. But let's get some more messages here for you guys. Pile 3, friends. Okay, friends. The most unlikely friendships can form like variegated lichens on hard rock. They create a tight bond. So you might be making a new friend or new friend group this month. Could also be like leaning on your friends during this time. So definitely a message there. Or for those of you that have been missing your friends, have been wanting to reconnect with certain friends, to go for it. Maybe an old friend will reach out. One more here. Retreat. Spoil yourself in the morning mist, breathe in nature's sweet scents. That reminds me of this 4 of Swords here, where it's like giving giving yourself time to rest as well. In between all these sort of tasks that you have to do. Let's get some more messages here as well. So yeah, definitely a bit of a busy week here, but I feel like it's not in the sense of like lots of things happening. I don't think there's going to be a lot of big things that are happening, but you'll be doing a lot in order to prepare for one big thing, it seems like. If that's you, you're gonna already know what it is. Look, we have peace. With the crown chakra, clear quartz, and stillness, the answer will be revealed. And it kind of sounds like retreat. So yeah, definitely give yourself some time to relax, some time to sit still this month. However that looks for you. It could also be that you've been neglecting some physical needs, you know, in the sense of not allowing yourself to relax, or not feeling like you have time to take care of yourself. And this is a message that this month you're going to be kind of like gifted time to do that. You're going to be gifted time to do anything that you have felt like you don't have time to do, or that you have been neglecting, for sure, with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, 4 of Swords, and then these cards. And it also could be that if you are somebody that does kind of like feel relaxed when you hang out with people, with friends, they kind of like calm you down, allow you to let go of your worries, then definitely a sign to make plans with them if you feel called to do so. Let's get a message from the moon for you for your month of April. Pile 3s. I feel like there's something on your mind. That this month you're gonna kind of be able to relax from it. Like, I feel like you're waiting for something to happen. You may also meet somebody this month that's going to help you with whatever this is that you're battling. Look, we have here Void of Course Moon. Okay, so we have nothing will come of this situation. Void of Course Moon. All right, Pal 3, with this Void of Course Moon, I'm getting that if there's something that, like I said, some sort of battle you've been preparing for, something you've been worrying about, something that's been constantly on your mind, in the sense of like you don't want this to happen, or you're afraid that something's going to be blown out of proportion, or there's just something you're worried about, then this comes as a relief, right? This message comes as a relief that this is kind of not, things are moving in your favor, in the sense that this is not going to come about, and it's going to come as a relief. And for others, if there's something that you have been preparing for that you want to happen, that you've been waiting for it to happen, that you really want it to happen, then this is a sign that something needs to be changed, right? Because there's a reason nothing is happening. And it's, as I mentioned before, that there's still things that you need to tidy up. There's things that you need to close out. There's things that you need to put more effort into in your mundane life in order for this to happen, in order for this to come about. Because right now I feel like there's some sort of nothingness, some sort of block here with something that you desire. If that sounds like you, it can be. So there's like two different situations here when it comes to this card. Let's get some more details here on your month of April. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like things are happening like really slow right now, and I can tell because these cards are coming out very slow. It's taking a while for me to get a card. So yeah, and it might be causing a bit of frustration here. Like, you may be a bit frustrated this month. And in the recent past, here we have third house communication. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. Maybe there's some sort of message you're waiting for, some sort of letter in the mail. And I feel like it's important you kind of focus on other things, take your mind off of waiting for this. Make use of this waiting period, basically. Like, if you're waiting for something to happen, make use of it, because that's how you're going to have the best outcome here. You also may be having miscommunication, or will have some sort of miscommunication with a friend, or it'll be important to have a communication with a friend, or if you feel like your siblings are kind of your best friends, then your siblings as well, because siblings are also in the purview of the third house. And so yeah, I feel like definitely clear communication is going to be important here. And that's what I was talking about earlier as well. I feel like with looking at the fine print, making sure your words are reaching the people they're supposed to, and they're hitting in the way that they're supposed to not allow for any sort of miscommunication. It kind of feels like Mercury retrograde energy here. And we still kind of are coming out of that period, the shadow period. So yeah, definitely make sure that everything is the way you want it before you send anything out officially. Even like an invitation, I'm getting invitation as well. Let's get an animal message for you for this month. We have bear in reverse. Which is interesting, because what I'm getting with the bear is kind of like, you know how bears, to prepare for winter, they eat a lot. they have to eat so much food to prepare for winter and hibernation. I feel like that's currently what you're doing right now, in the sense that you're preparing for some sort of big event in your life. As well as it's important for you to rest as well. If you've already been doing this preparation, then now is the time to rest. And also preparing so that you can rest. And I feel like this also can tie into the chop wood card of kind of you know how after a bear slumbers to the winter, when it wakes up, it's kind of probably starving. It's sort of hut or cave or wherever it is probably a mess. I feel like that's kind of metaphorically, maybe you've been really busy or in some sort of slumber or doing something, so that now that you're waking up, you have like a lot of things to do, or maybe over the winter you kind of let your house get a bit cluttered, a bit disorganized, so you want to do some spring cleaning, and that's the way you're preparing for the spring. And it's like seeming a bit difficult at first because it's something you haven't done in a while, or it's something that you have let things pile up. Like I keep getting that you've for those of you that have let things pile up, this is definitely a month to sort through those. And I feel like once you've done that, you're going to see a lot of progress, a lot of progress, a lot of forward momentum. That's why nothing is happening right now. It's because you have a lot of things that you've built up that you kind of need to chip away at. And this is the month that's definitely going to be pushing you to do it. And when you do it this month, like I feel like a lot of things are going to start working in your favor, essentially. Now let's get a card for this deck. Look, wow, yeah, look, we have no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. And I feel like this is, I don't feel like this is a, what's the word? Like a no full stop, right? This is more like wait, postpone. Things aren't happening because there's still certain areas in your life that need tending to. And that's why it's a no. Same thing with nothing will come of the situation as well. It's interesting that we got both of those. To some of you, that may be a relief because it may be something that you're worrying about that you don't want to happen, and then this is a relief to you. But for those of you that have been waiting for something to happen and nothing's happening, then that's because there's certain issues you still need to take care of. And that's why it's being postponed. That's also why the Wheel of Fortune's out here. I would say another message with this card is because you already have a lot of things on your plate, I feel like anything that you don't feel a 100% like you want to do, and you don't have to do it, because it's some mundane thing, then this is a time that it's okay to say no. That's why we have the Four of Swords, peace, and what was underneath here again? Retreat. See, like you are allowed to say no to things that are, I feel like this month you're going to have to say no to a lot of things because there's a lot of more important things to tend to, right? So, and I feel like it's not in the sense of you saying no to taking care of yourself, because that's the first thing that you should prioritize, of course, yourself, your well-being, your physical health, your mental health. That should be the first thing, okay? Second thing is all these other things that need to get done that are necessary for you to be able to live life. Lastly, this is saying no to things that other people are trying to put onto you that you do not have the time for, you do not have the energy for. This is a message that it's okay to say no here. Especially with the third house communication, for sure. For sure. Some people, like siblings or friends that you kind of grew up with that are kind of like siblings, anybody that you grew up that are kind of like siblings, they may ask you to like do certain things, like maybe babysit their kids or just do some sort of favor or just hang out with them in the sense. And if you don't feel 100% like you want to do that, and don't say yes just because you feel guilty, okay? It's okay for you to say no to certain things. Lastly, let me get you a song. Two wanted to come out. We have Alone Again by Asking Alexandria with the Hermit. So yes, definitely a month that you may want to be more alone. You may want to recover alone. And then we have Lucid Dreaming by Tinashe. So yeah, you may be feeling a bit sleepy as well. And I feel like sleep will be important here because it'll help you recover as well. So make sure you're going to be getting enough sleep this month. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to listen to these listen to these songs and look at the lyrics and see if any really stand out to you here. But thank you so much for letting me read for you today. I hope you have a wonderful April and a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello, Pile 4, and welcome to your April 2026 prediction reading. So up here, I have the overall themes for you this month, and we have the Three of Swords and 43 Deep Knowing. Interesting. I feel like this month you're going to be working through and healing a lot of past wounds. I feel like for some of you, this is fairly recent. This is some fairly recent loss that I feel like you're going to be grieving this April, and that it's already happened. For others, I feel like these are like ancient wounds I'm hearing. These are things that have been painful for a very long time, even if you may not have noticed them. I feel like now is a time you're going to be noticing a lot of these this April. You're going to be made aware of them, but you're going to be becoming aware of them in order to heal those wounds. So for my pile 4s, there's going to be a lot of internal work going on this April, just from looking at these two cards. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of your tarot cards. We have the 10 of Wands. Okay, 6 of Wands. And then the 4 of Wands. Now, the first message I'm getting is that you're going to be healing a lot of energetic wounds. As I said before, you're going to be walking away from a lot of things that have hurt you in the past. But I feel like this is sort of metaphorical. You're kind of I feel like this month you're going to be getting a lot of like memories, random memories come back from childhood, from your teenage years, maybe even from previous adult years. And I feel like they're going to be coming up in order for you to release them, and you're hanging on to a lot of burdens, and I feel like it's preventing you from really being truly comfortable. Because it's interesting, because the 6 and the 4s are very happy cards, but I feel like because of this 3 of Swords and this 10 of Wands, it's almost like you're reliving happy memories of some sort of person, place, or thing, because you know that now it's time to move on from it, because it's now ended. So I feel like this April, it's kind of like going to be like a movie reel of all these wonderful moments that you know you're never gonna be able to live through again. So yeah, definitely a very, very healing month for you, pile 4. And I don't think it's necessarily gonna be comfortable, but I feel like by the end of it, you are gonna be feeling a lot lighter, because a lot of these things are kind of weighing you down. And if there's some sort of situation that you have been thinking of walking away from, pile 4, there's a reason why you've been sort of getting those feelings or those messages, with the deep knowing as well. Definitely your intuition is going to be on point this month. I also want to say with this card came out in another pile. So if you were drawn to another pile, there may be messages for you there as well. I'm hearing Doomed by Bring Me the Horizon in my head, specifically the chorus where he's like, so come rain down on my parade. It kind of reminds me of the 3 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. So you may experience certain people kind of, raining down on your parade, trying to put you down somewhere that you feel successful for. And that's kind of what pushes you to walk away as well. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a month to take things slow, pile 4, to really take care of yourself, because I feel like you're going through a lot of internal things. You're healing a lot of wounds that have been stuck, eating your energy, stuck in your energy for a very long time. So definitely take things slow. But with this 4 of Wands, you're definitely going to be feeling a lot lighter this month after, once it's kind of run its course, right? There definitely and there may be some celebration happening here as well. Maybe there's some event or celebration that you have to go to, but you're feeling kind of down about it. It's almost like reaching the finish line. You're reaching the finish line of something this month. And I feel like it more has to do with with internal work, but it could also definitely be in your physical world as well. But with Wands, I'm kind of getting like it's like reaching the end of some things that were burdening you for a long time, letting them go. Definitely letting something go here. But let's get some more messages, some more details. Definitely a month of shedding old wounds, old burdens, shedding maybe people that you're sick of that put you down a lot, perhaps. Strength. When your roots are deep, you need not fear the storm. And that kind of reminds me of the storm that's happening in the Three of Swords as well, right? Yes, definitely finding your strength here. Realizing your strength, revealing your strength. And it takes a strong person to do this internal work that it seems like you've been really focused on. Because I feel like this is partly, yes, unconscious, but I feel like it's becoming more and more conscious. You're becoming more and more aware of these things. We have humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. Interesting, because I feel like that's kind of it reminds me of the Six of Wands, I mean, where, there's this figure that's kind of getting a lot of attention. So maybe you've been comparing yourself to other people. Like, one of the wounds you're healing this month is a comparison. Your path is not like anybody else's path. And so I feel like you're really finding strength in yourself and in your life and in what you're doing, especially with the Four of Wands coming out as well, which is fours are very stable energy. I feel like you're building you're doing a lot of internal work so that you can build a strong foundation moving forward. Let's get some more messages here. We have here root chakra with snowflake obsidian as a crystal. Safety. In the hurricane of life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying, where I feel like you're moving into a feeling of safety after some sort of loss, some sort of heartbreak, some sort of disappointment this month. And I feel like for some of you, it may be a physical thing, but for a lot of you, it's more like you're feeling more safe within yourself. You're trusting yourself more. You're building a very strong foundation within yourself that cannot be destroyed by other people's perceptions of you, what other people think of you, what other people say of you. It's almost like you're focusing on your own path. Let's get some more messages here. Messages from the moon for you in regards to April 2026. What will be happening for you? You may also be stepping away from a situation that left you feeling humiliated. Retreating. We have mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. And then underneath that, we had work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. And I feel like that's definitely something you're doing, working through your fears. And I feel like with nothing set in stone, the mutable moon, it's kind of like, you know, you're a constantly evolving being. Okay, you're constantly evolving, constantly changing. Um, so I feel like you're going through a very deep transformation this month, and you have been. This is something that's been happening over the course of a few months, probably. Maybe you're working through a fear of being seen, fear of being in the spotlight. I feel like the nothing is yet set in stone with the mutable moon is also the things talking about how just because somebody says something about you, or you think, or they think a certain way about you, that does not mean it's true. Even if you think a certain thing about you, that's not necessarily true as well. But yeah, with these two cards, pile 4, I feel like one, you're really working through a lot of fears, as I said, a lot of internal work, and I love that for you. I think you're doing amazing. You're doing a lot of hard work that not many people really take the time to do, and it's not always pretty. It's not always lighthearted. You're going through some deep stuff right now, and I feel like going through a whole sort of internal transformation that by the end of the month, I feel like you're going to be coming out of. You're going to definitely be ready to step out back into the light, a whole new changed person. So definitely this is going to be a pretty heavy month for you. So make sure you're getting enough rest, taking care of yourself, really being gentle with yourself this month, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on under the surface. But I feel like you're going to emerge very rooted in who you are, have a very strong foundation and internal strength. Let's get another card here. Yeah, I feel like maybe you've been comparing yourself to others, having a lot of maybe being a bit jealous of other people's situations, maybe like in your life or just on social media. And I feel like that's something that you're really working through. You're really working to shed and just be proud of where you're at, and know that you can only move up from here, essentially. Because I feel like you've kind of maybe been in like a rock bottom situation when it comes to something. I feel like how you feel about yourself. I feel like you're really going to be taking the road back to being confident in yourself and who you are. And specifically with humility, like not comparing your situation to anybody else's, because you're your own unique person, and you bring your own unique perspective to this world, basically, and to your community, to your family. Maybe other people compare you, maybe growing up, other people, like, you know, your parents or people around you compared you to your siblings or something, and it made you feel kind of shameful, or like you're not good enough. So I feel like that may be another fear that you're working through this month. So definitely a lot of internal work going on under the scenes or behind the scenes. But you're definitely going to come out of the situation a much stronger person, I feel like, in the sense of, in your sense of self, essentially. And much more connected to your internal being, to your soul. We have Capricorn. Achieve. Yeah, maybe you felt like a bit of a disappointment to the people in your life, or maybe just to yourself. But you're definitely going to be achieving something this month. And I feel like it's more of an internal thing. But that internal change is you're gonna be seeing outward expressions of that as well in the material world. It may be small, but it has the potential to grow bigger and gain momentum. Yeah, look, underneath the deck we have South Node, past. So yes, definitely healing a lot of wounds from your past, a lot. And you're gonna feel like very proud of yourself by the end of it. Like, it's literally gonna feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders. You're gonna feel a lot lighter, and you're gonna feel a lot stronger, a lot more rooted. Like a seed that's just grown roots, really. You may want to look into your root chakra and things like that, because it's definitely has a lot to do with what's going on with what is going on as well. Now let's get a message, an animal message for you for the month of April. Pile 4. Shark. Interesting. First thing that I heard in my head was like blood in the water almost. One thing I'm getting with this shark card pile 4 is that a lot of things that maybe you hadn't been acknowledging in the past that people have been able to take advantage of, or that have just left you feeling weak, are coming to the surface now, and that's in order to shed them, that's in order to heal them, and that's in order to let them go. That's why this shark is coming out. The shark talks about things that we are that are hidden beneath the surface, things that are secrets, mysteries that are wanting to be exposed. And I feel like for you, these are past wounds that are going to be coming up this April in order for you to heal them and let them go. So any sort of memories, pay attention to any sort of memories that come up during this time. Even like if you're going through your pictures, some sort of pictures that trigger something in you, triggers, pay attention to those. It's very important that you be aware this month of your feelings, which is interesting because we don't have any cups cards, but we have this 3 of Swords that's coming out, and as well as anything that's been draining your energy, anything that you walk away from exhausted, it's important to take a hard look at that too, to see if that needs to be in your life. So definitely cutting away a lot of things and shedding a lot of things and letting go of a lot of things in your life this month. Let's get one last card for you here, pile 4. This deck is massive compared to my hands, but that's because it's 2 decks combined together. Interesting. We have don't dim to fit in. Underneath that, we had trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on, time is not running out. I also feel like you may be feeling a bit lonely at this time, just because I feel like you're going to be spending a lot of time alone, or you just feel a bit disconnected from people. Maybe you're away from your family, or you've stepped away from your family because of certain things that have happened in the past. You may also feel disconnected because you're kind of scared to show people who you really are, because you're kind of scared of being rejected by them. And if that sounds like you, that's definitely because there's a lot of internal work that needs to be happening in order for you to be able to step out into your authentic self, and be who you are without apologizing. For sure. I'm actually going to read this card for you. I didn't read any cards for any pile, but for you, I feel like reading this card because this is my favorite. This is my favorite deck. These 2 decks are my favorite oracle decks. I feel like their messages are always amazing. They always hit, and they're always very accurate and something that we need to hear. So let me go ahead and read that for you, especially if this sounds like you. So we have don't dim to fit in. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding, and you are part of the universe, so expanding is part of your nature. It kind of reminds me of the mutable moon, nothing is yet set in stone. If someone makes you want to retract, notice and slowly back away. They are not for you, and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Wow, look at that. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. That sounds exactly like this humility here. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. They show their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you or you make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too, or not. Keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't because they were likely born under the proviso of, I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. And we have the work your light inquiry. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Wow. So yeah, definitely working through some sort of loss here that occurred because maybe you shine too bright and it made people turn away. But that's because the people that can handle your light will find you. If you don't shine, then the people that can handle your light, you're not going to be able to tell who they are. They're not going to be able to find you. So it's important that you stay true to yourself, that you be your authentic self. And I feel like you are taking steps to shining your light. Right? That's why we're working through all these fears with the new moon in Scorpio, the mutable moon, the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Wands. Definitely walking away from something and as I said before, healing a lot of past wounds, particularly maybe when it comes to other people and how they perceive you and how you interact with them as well. Definitely. You're doing a lot of you're cultivating an inner strength right now by facing certain fears that you have and certain things that have happened in the past that are the source of those fears, for sure. Now, let me just get you a song here. Mixing it up. Whoa, that's a lot. I'm just going to take all of them. So maybe you want to give these songs a listen, see if any lyrics stand out to you. Artistry by Jacob Lee. I love this song so much. We have, look at that Enemy by Imagine Dragons and JID. Look at all the eyes. Look at all the eyes on this card. Definitely reminds me of the 6 of Wands. Headstrong, trapped. Just like standing strong in your truth and who you are and what you believe in. Face to face, yes, definitely coming face to face by Thousand Below. Definitely coming face to face with a lot of things in your life. And then we have Follow by the Annex. So yeah, any of these stand out to you? Definitely encourage you to give them a listen. Take a look at the lyrics. There may be messages for you there as well in regards to your April 2026. But that is all I have for you today, Pile 4. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope you have a wonderful April and a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much to Spirit for these messages. And I'll see you in the next one.